Kadin Shedrick committed to Texas. I think it was a little bit of a surprise, maybe, that it happened when it did. I think he still had visits scheduled, right? I believe one was to Duke, and I can't remember where else he was supposed to visit. But he committed to Texas. What does this mean? They're getting Dylan Disu back as well. All of a sudden, they have a front line that is figured out. Dylan Mitchell has declared for the draft. Tyrese Hunter has declared for the draft. But there's finally some positive momentum this offseason for Rodney Terry when they had lost a lot of guys. Let's be frank. They lost a lot of guys.
Yeah, which they know they were going to lose a lot. So that wasn't much of a surprise. But now you have your front court. Your front court, you got at this point with Shedrick and Disu and maybe Dylan Mitchell coming back. He should come back, I guess. Maybe not. I mean, again, if he can go late first round, you go.
He's one of those guys I'd put in the conversation of, if you look like you're going to end up being an early second round pick, you can probably get enough in NIL to make it worth it to come back, see if you could add the jump shot, and then go and be like a top 20 pick next year. Same thing as Kyle Filipowski, same thing as Mark Mitchell, same thing as Tyrese Proctor. You can get yourself that guaranteed like 8-figure deal instead of trying to make it work on something where you're making marginally more from the NBA contract than you would off of NIL.
Yeah, I mean, Texas has still got some work to do. I mean, in the backcourt, right? Losing Arterio hurts because he would have stepped in and given him some minutes with Tyrese Hunter. But they got Hunter. They got two bigs in Disu and Shedrick and maybe Dylan Mitchell. They bring in Ron Holland, who's a killer. One of the toughest, hardest playing forwards out there. So they need another guard. I mean, they need a shooter. They need a guard who can shoot the ball, period. Because Tyrese Hunter, as good as he was at times shooting the ball, he was not great. He kind of was what we thought he was shooting the ball for the most part last season.
Hey, we thought he was going to be a superstar.
That game I was at. You were at.
Yeah.
Weren't you there?
Yeah. When we saw him against Gonzaga, he hit like 6 threes and had 26 points.
Yeah. I hate that. It's like we got to remember that for next year. I try to say that every year. And I did it twice. No. I did it with him.
We do it every year, man. Remember when we did it with Quentin Grimes? Quentin Grimes Champions Classic.
Terrence Shannon. I was at the Terrence Shannon game in Vegas this year.
I forgot about that.
I was at a bunch of them. Like, I was at the Grimes one. Like, I've been in a bunch, and I overreact every single time.
It's so hard not to. It's the first time we see these guys. Everyone's excited about it.
You know who another one was? Wait, I got to find a good one for you while you're talking. I'm going to find a really good one for you.
Well, it's only naturally overreact because we've been waiting. Like, we talk for 7 months about what we think all of these players and these teams are going to end up being. And we finally see it on the big stage for the first time. You have to overreact. There's no way to not overreact. You get caught up in the moment. It is what it is.
All right, here.
But it's funny how we say that every year. It's like, next year I'm not gonna overreact to these guys that make a bunch of shots in the first games, and then Harrison Ingram is gonna come out here in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. He's gonna hit 7 threes in the first game. We're all gonna be like, North Carolina's winning the title again. Book it. Or Caleb Love.
Here's my one from
the season is gonna come out and hit 9 threes.
2014. Ready? 2014. This is one of the first ones.
Oh, let me guess. 2014. Was it one of the Kentucky guys? Who was on that team?
No.
One of the Harrison twins?
It was Marcus Smart.
Oh, yeah.
He went 5 for 10 from 3 against Memphis. And we were all like, oh my God, Marcus Smart shots. It's fixed. It's completely, he can shoot now. And then it was like, no, he really can't.
No, he still can't. Now he's in the NBA and he still can't shoot. All right, let me ask you this about Kadin Shedrick, because I was actually texting with a buddy of mine who was a Texas fan. And I was like, yeah, you guys just landed one of like the most talented dudes in the portal. And he's like, we landed a guy that averaged 6 points and 4 rebounds as a junior for a team that finished outside the top 3 in the ACC. Like, why should I be excited about this dude? So why
Kadin Shedrick?
Yeah, why should people?
I freaking love him. Okay, he got buried. They wanted to see if he'd respond, and he really didn't. I think that was the biggest thing is he wasn't playing great. They put him on the bench. He got pissed off, but he didn't fight hard enough, so he didn't really earn minutes until later in the year. And then they realized, oh yeah, we might need Kadin Shedrick, and he was great against Furman, even though Virginia lost that game. But I honestly believe Kadin Shedrick can be a double-ish, like a 12-8 guy. I think Kadin Shedrick is a 12-8 guy for Texas.
He's one of the best athletes that's going to be in the Big 12 next season. He's 6'11", 230 pounds, and really, really athletic. One of the things that I took away from the interview that you did with him when he was on our channel was kind of like I've never heard somebody kind of drag Tony Bennett or the Virginia staff the way that he did. Does that worry you at all?
It was surprising to me. He tried not to, but you could see he was not happy with the way he was utilized, and probably not just on the court. Again, I think it had a lot to do with them benching him when he felt like, I had paid my dues, I had proven myself for years in this program, I earned this. So he didn't publicly kill Tony Bennett, but you could tell he was not happy. I think, again, it's one of those things where certain players are going to get frustrated playing that style after time, right? There's certain players who understand that style helps them. I think Kadin Shedrick figured out, like, all right, this style probably doesn't help my game and the way I play. I need to play faster, and he does.
Yeah, I agree, and it's when you are dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds and there's an emotional attachment involved, like there's going to be at some point guys that don't get along with coaches and coaches that don't get along with play. It's a natural inclination. Think about all of the workplaces that you've been in and whether or not you've actually gotten along with every single boss or every single coworker. Let me tell you guys about our sponsor for today's episode, Athletic Greens. I started taking AG1 a few weeks back. When we get in the middle of college hoop season, it can be hard for me to eat and drink as healthy as I probably should be, especially in late February and March when the schedule gets really busy. But I found that I've felt better as I've made AG1 a part of my daily routine. I take AG1 in the afternoons after the coffee is worn off and once the itis post-lunch is kind of set in. And what I found, my energy levels are up. It's improved my digestion. And as a result, I'm not only more efficient and productive in the most important time of the year for me and for the field of 68, but I'm working out more consistently. I just feel better. AG1 is so much more than just a greens powder. It's comprehensive health and the power of habit in one. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally could not be easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix one small scoop of the AG1 formula with water, and I drink it every single afternoon. Done, just like that. I also like that it only costs $3 a day. The price is right. If a comprehensive solution is what you need for your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is the answer. They are giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Free! Just go to athleticgreens.com/field68. That's athleticgreens.com/field68. The link is in the description below. Check it out, support the field of 68, and feel better about yourself.